Hey there, it's Matt here. Just wanted to go over my bike and the tire size and the tire setup. The person who actually inspired me to do this tire setup on this bike was, I believe his name is Warpig, at Brutal Warpig. He's got a little YouTube channel. You should check him out. He's got a 96 or a 98 Virago, and he put the 170 80 15 on the rear and the 110 90 19 on the front. And factory, this should be a 140 90 15 on the back, and I believe a 100 90 19 on the front. I just got these on. I'm really happy with them, and I did polish up my rims. These should be blacked out from my last videos and what I've done to it over the years, and I decided to add just a bit of, get rid of some of the black on it. I still got some work to do. You can still see some of the paint's not making it look perfectly round. I still have work to do to them, but I decided I need to get riding this bike. There you go, 170 80 15, and it's the it just fits. The best way to do this is to take this shock off, and that's all you got to do is the bolt on top and bottom. Remove it completely, and you will wiggle it around your diff, and you can get it in there. I don't think you could do a 180 because of the amount of lack of clearance between your drive shaft swing arm. I'm trying to move this wire and get some video. So that right there, that's tight. You'd really have to measure it out. That's the side that's the problem, and I don't know how much wider a 180 would be. However, this side here, the swing arm and everything, like, you're that close to there's a controlling, that's a securing arm right there that secures this brake plate. Without that, the whole thing turns when you try to hit the brakes and wraps up. So you actually completely miss the swing arm, which is farther away, but it's that controller there. So you could technically maybe try it. I could not afford to buy the tire and then eat the cost. And then on the front, I don't run a fender, but I am going to go back to a fender because I just get caught in rain here and there, and it's kind of annoying. But I do know that because of at Brutal Warpig did mention that this clears his fender, and mine's an 88 with a different fender, but I have an 85 fender, so it's just a smaller fender anyways. It's trimmed up anyways, but you can see the clearance here, and it's still going to clear your fender, and the width is fine. I don't think I'd want to go anymore. There's really no point in it. You're just sort of honestly messing with your speedometer anyways at that point. And it's now taller, and it's got more of a lean angle. And this bike stood kind of straight up with this kickstand. My old kickstand, this is something I replaced a couple years ago. My old kickstand was bending. It was always bent. This bike's been dropped, beat. Everyone's cousin and their friends had learned to ride on this. Someone crashed it into the ground, and it stood right up, and they bent the kickstand was bending. You can see this one's straight. It's dead straight. However, when it was bending before, the old one, it would lean the way it is now, or if not more. However, until I put these tires on, it's got a pretty mean lean to it. So it's not too bad. It's not like way over, but it's got a bit of a lean. So just something to think about. Or it's handling great. I put about 100 miles on it today, and I think I got some of the natural oils out of it. I think I got a couple hundred more to go, but I'm really, really happy with these tires. I don't think you'd want to go any taller on the rear. Maybe wider for looks is fine. I think it's got a good little look to it compared to that skinnier tire. But once you go taller and taller, then you start losing torque and power. I think it's lost just a little bit of torque and power, but it's still there. It's still pretty much on tap. It's not so bad. I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out, the way it looks. It's about as far as I'm going to get in one of these things without major fabrication. Looking good. You know, I think it looks pretty sharp, satined out, and the satin I've mentioned in my other video cleans up, but altogether, this is more a video about the rims, the tires, and I think I'm dropping RPM on the highway, which is great. It's running a lot more chill as a 750. And the higher speeds, I think I'm down 500 to 700 RPM easily. Usually I run this thing at 75 miles per hour. It's about 120, 125 kilometers an hour. And it's around 5,000, 5,100, and it's easily 4,500 RPM, maybe less at that speed. So take that for what it is. You know, you lose a bit of momentum when you start going up in tires on trucks and cars and such. This thing just still kind of delivers its what torque and horsepower ratio it has regardless, and I think it's doing great. So I just got it on the road today, put it together last night after receiving the tires, so I don't know my real mileage, and I should check in. I'll do another video later on the tires, on the mileage, and what I've come to conclude with that. I don't think you'll gain mileage. I think you're just running it a little cooler on the top speeds on the highway, and I think you just change your gearing, and they needed tires anyways, and I'm one of those guys like, I'm just gonna try it out. So anyway, it's not my commuter bike anymore, but it's there, and I love riding this bike around town. So I think my next video on this bike is going to be more about the ownership of having one of these, and what it's like, and what's like having an old bike, and Virago in itself. So I'm going to leave this here about the tires, and I'm going to tag at Brutal Warpig in this, and he can check it out. And I want to just say shout out again to at Brutal Warpig. Thanks for putting up your video on your Virago. I don't know if you're still riding yours. This is an old video, but I know you're still answering questions, and thank you for answering your questions on your channel and everything. And I hope everybody has a great day.